Alright, welcome to part 2 of my top 10 Yu-Gi-Oh decks, in my opinion of course, and again, just to throw it out there, I do not own any of these pictures, okay, that should be clear enough, but anyways, let's get on. I can't remember what number I was at before, I think it was at 5 and I was Magic Spectres. Let me have a think about it. Oh, I can't even remember what I put on the last part. But oh well. I'm just going to assume I stopped at 5 because that's technically what I would have actually stopped at, ideally. If I didn't, you can just go ahead and let me know. But enough about that. Let's go on to number 4, Pendulum Magicians. You already guessed it just by looking at these guys. And up there. And up here. Okay. But here's the thing. With Pendulum Magicians, I see. Well, I know it's kind of meta, but I've actually been using these guys for a long time. I've been using them before they became meta, so I can't really count them as meta. So and also there is 3 cards I would never use as Pendulum Magicians. This guy, Stargazer, Time Gazer, and I'm not gonna try and pronounce her. I don't use these 3. The rest of these guys, they're cool. They're cool. I can't remember what else I use. It's been a long time since I actually used Pendulum Magicians. But these guys, these two are the dream team. A scale of 8 and a pendulum scale of 1. His pendulum effect is you discard a pendulum monster. I think has a magician as well. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. But I'm just being careful. If you discard a pendulum monster, I don't know that again. I don't know if it has to be a magician. But if you do that, you can actually target one face-up monster on the field and destroy it. And this guy pretty much does the same, but he actually same cost, but actually he destroys spells and traps instead. I love that. The fact they got a scale of 8 and 1 and have those effects are pretty goddamn nice. And since they're mainly level 7s, yeah, they can make some. They can make for some pretty good rank. They could make some pretty good rank 7 XYZ plays. And also, depending on what you like, change. Like, for instance, I would replace Stargazer with. Actually, no, I would replace Time Gazer with Joker. Like, Performer Power Skull Cravat Joker. I can't remember the full name because Skull Cravat Joker would end up actually letting me get and I would actually replace her with it, Ardai's Pendulum Dragon. I would replace him with Joker, her with Ardai's, and I cannot remember actually. Ah, yeah, that's it. Archfiend Eccentric. I love Archfiend Eccentric. Love that card so much. So useful. But anyways, that's pretty much what that's Pendulum Magicians number 4. Let's get on to the next one. That's right. At number 3, we got here the Melodious Monsters. These girls are a prime example of something you love to use, but you absolutely hate having to go up against because they're so overpowered when it comes to defense. And Melodious all rely on getting special summoned, and as you know, there's a ton. There's tons of ways to special summon monsters now in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, it's ridiculous. And look at this for an example. Aria the Melodious Diva. While this special summoned, okay, special summoned card is on the field, Melodious monsters you control cannot be targeted by card effects or be destroyed by battle. That is OP as hell. I mean, you can just easy, like, if you just normal summoned her or just set her and she went to the grave, you just use Call the Haunted, and that's it. Every single Melodious monster you have cannot be targeted by effects or be destroyed by battle until you get rid of Call the Haunted, probably. And then she'll probably have to end up going bye bye. But what I do, they're only number 3 because they do have a vital flaw. They rely on special summon monsters for attack. They have one fusion, mind you. They have one fusion card which can actually ban 3 cards from either player's graveyard to actually increase the fusion monster's attack by 300 for each card you banish. So that's pretty good, and her attack ends up becoming 3,000. So you've got a form of offense right there. So, but that's just that one monster, and the other fusion relies on special summon monsters to destroy. It relies on special summon monsters. So yeah, that's why they're only number 3, because they're really, really defensive, much more than offensive. So it's really unbalanced like that. So that's why they're only number 3. Let's move on to number 2. Okay, number 2 is actually one of the first fusion monsters I ever decided to actually use in Yu-Gi-Oh! Even when I was starting out. Even during the whole events where my story took place, you can go ahead and check that out if you want. Should be somewhere on my channel. But that's not the subject here. The subject here is Salo 2 Black Skull Dragon Archfiend. This guy is a beast, and let me tell you. Oh, you're probably asking me, what deck is he in? Red Eyes decks. I always liked Red Eyes Black Dragon much more than Red Eyes White Dragon. I actually even use Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon in my Pendulum Magicians, which can be very, very overpowered. Red Eyes in general usually has a bunch of great cards. I'm a sucker for dragons. I love dragons so much. I'm like Seto Kaiba, I have a boner for them. Not really. But I'm not kidding about Seto Kaiba, I have a boner for them. But anyways, Red Eyes Black Dragon decks. There, you can play them any way you want. You can focus on the XYZ Red Eyes Dragon. I don't know if there's a synchro though. I could be wrong. It might be. I mean, Red Eyes keeps on getting a lot of support. There's this beast here, Black Skull Dragon Archfiend, which is actually summoned by Red Eyes Fusion. But another pretty good fusion card where you can like take a normal Red Eyes Black Dragon from your deck and a level 6 Archfiend monster, I believe. It has to be normal. It cannot be an effect monster. So pretty much summon Skull, since that's always treated as an Archfiend card. And then you fuse those two with Red Eye Fusion to create this goddamn beast. He stops your opponent from using like shit like Mirror Force and stuff like that when he attacks. I don't know if your opponent can use cards and effects while he's getting attacked, but I'm not sure. I can't remember that well. I can't remember that big detail. Well, I say big detail, but I always forget it. But I love this guy. I mean, look how cool he fucking looks. That is beastly. Oh my god, I love the design of some of these cards. I absolutely love them. But my favorite design card has to be easily Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. I love that dragon. It looks so beautiful. Second place Black Rose Dragon. But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked here. Let's get on to number 1. You know what it's gonna be, guys. You know what number 1's gonna be. Let's see if you're right. Yes, that's right, people. You probably guessed this already from the very beginning. Boojins are my all-time favorite. I'm getting my words mixed up here. Boojins are my all-time favorite deck. Completely, no contest right there. Yamato, love him. Mikazuchi, love him. Harume, still love him. This guy, not so much. I only use these 3, really, when it comes to like the main 3 Beast Warriors. Because Mikazuchi, so useful if you want a backup plan. And Yamato, so useful if you want to get Bujinji Crane. Harume, so fucking useful if you have a spare Bujin to banish from your graveyard to special summon it and make an easy rank 4 XYZ summon into the best Bujin card in the deck. Bujinte Susanoo. I cannot express how much I love these guys. I probably already have in other previous videos. Oh, here's a guy actually. Here he is. it doesn't say his English name, but Bujinte Susanoo. This guy is why Bujins are so good. Hell, not just this guy. Just like it's kind of like how I feel with warriors in Gladiator Beasts. They stand tall together. They're like proud warriors who benefit off each other. And I like to imagine like the animals being like their spirit animals, like their guardian angels who help them in battle. It's like they summon the force of those animals. Like you usually like Susanoo, he would use the spirit of the crane to double his attack. Bujinji Sinyo. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be though. Sinyo is pretty much like the honest version of Bujins, but you take half the damage and it does not last the entire turn. If you use it, you don't take the damage. Your opponent does, obviously. So, oh my god, Bujins, I love these guys so goddamn much. This card is pretty pointless. Don't bother with it. I don't see a point in using this guy. Just in my opinion, I would just stick with Yamato, Mikazuchi, and Harume. I never found a use where I would. I've never had one of those moments where I say, "Ah, I wish I had that guy in my deck." I've never had one of those moments ever throughout my time playing Bujins. Ever. So I just stick with Yamato. He gets a crane very easy, or Mikazuchi if you're already if you already got a crane. And not only that, most of the animal cards, and that's what I'm going to call them for now, animal Bujins, they benefit from getting discarded to the grave, so you can actually use their effect. But the bad thing with Yamato is it's actually during the end phase, so you can't actually use them when you do it, unless you have Susanoo, which can actually detach material, and then you can choose to send any Bujin monster from your deck to your hand or to your grave, which is very, very good. And the fact he's a rank 4 and he's so easy to summon, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And Mikazuchi's always hanging in your hand, just waiting to like save the day, to just jump in, and then your opponent thinks, "I'm gonna get you now, you little bitch. You ain't got no spells and traps," and then boom, just use Crane and double Mikazuchi's attack, making your opponent rage quit. Oh, I love it so much. Oh, if I go on anymore, I'm just gonna lose control, man. I love my Bujins so much. They will always be my all-time favorite deck. Simple, easy to use, very effective. They just get a lot of unneeded hate. But the thing with Bujins is they don't lock you down. They don't lock you down like most other decks do. They give you a fighting chance. They're standing on the field saying, "Let's fight." I love that. I absolutely love that. They're just using the spirit of the animals to really help out their fighting powers. But your opponent can run out of those. Don't just assume they got a bunch of those. Oh well, all right. Provided I do have one Sinyo, 2 Honests, and 3 Cranes. So that's quite a few ways to like increase your Beast Warrior Bujin attack. Oh yeah, that's right. These effects only work for Beast Warrior Bujins. They don't work with just the beasties. They don't work with just them. They have to be Beast Warrior Bujins. Everyone forgets about that. So they just simply assume they're just overpowered like that. That's why I love Bujins. That's why they're my fucking most favorite deck ever. Cool looking, absolute proud Beast Warriors. I salute every single one of them. But the other half, I don't really see them useful. So that's it for my top 10 Yu-Gi-Oh decks. In my opinion, again, I do not own any of these pictures, and I will see you tomorrow where I'll be back on schedule as usual with Duel Network duels. See ya.